We're mic'd up with Montgomery.
Welcome to Real Talk, where real estate meets real conversation.
I'm Sean Harvey.
I'm Brittany Newer.
What's new this week, Brittany?
I don't know, we just jumped right into that.
We jumped right in.
I love it. Get right to business.
Get right to the point.
Yeah, well, Thanksgiving's coming up, so we're decorating our house for Christmas. So
how's that going?
It actually went good. We, last minute, I was just like, it's nice out, and I don't want to do it when it's freezing cold. And my thoughts were, Thanksgiving is so late this year.
Yeah.
If we waited till after Thanksgiving, it makes no sense because you only have 25 days of it. Because I am the person that I like to put it up early, but after Christmas, I'm done with Christmas and I just want to take it down. So
I would put mine up after Halloween,
mm-hmm.
November 1st,
yes.
and then take it down January 15th.
Yeah, see,
because I like it. I like the lights and stuff. But
yeah, I like the outside lights, and we'll keep that up. But the inside, after the kids get all their toys and all their Christmas stuff, and it's just hectic. We don't have anybody else come into our house for a while, and we're home on Christmas break. Kids have school off, so I'm let's just do it now. But yeah, outside, I love to keep that stuff up.
I always find it interesting when people post on Facebook and they say, "Is it too early to decorate for Christmas?"
It doesn't.
Well, do you want to decorate for Christmas? Then decorate for Christmas.
Yeah, what
if
is
you
somebody
don't,
gonna
then
do?
Don't.
Nobody's gonna.
There's no right or wrong.
Yeah.
Do whatever you want.
Do you decorate your house? Just period. It's fine.
It's fine.
It's just Christmas themed.
Yeah.
There's people who keep their tree up year round, and then they decorate it for different holidays. That's kind of cool. But I feel like I wouldn't be as creative, or I'd leave one holiday up way too long.
Yeah.
And it's it'd be Valentine's Day for 4 months because I'd be wow, I really want St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, that'd be okay.
I guess you're right. You're kind of a leprechaun. So.
Hanging your little green beers on there.
Yeah. Yeah, you're the redhead, so I probably shouldn't show St. Patrick's Day.
Mm-hmm.
But what do you do for Thanksgiving?
Normally we have it at our house, and then whoever wants to come can show up.
Oh, is that an open invite?
Well, maybe RSVP first.
Yeah, if you bring food and wine.
Normally, if you bring, and we're not so worried about the food, but bring the wine.
Yeah.
Normally, there's always enough food.
Yeah, we've the last few years have wanted to host because we got our house, and it's kind of nice because everybody can come over and see it. We don't have a lot of family over all the time anyways. We usually go out somewhere with them or do something, so it's kind of nice to have everybody.
For some reason, there's normally 5 to 7 people, and I still buy the biggest ham and the biggest turkey you can buy, because then you have leftovers.
It freezes. Yes, I love leftovers, and we always do leftovers. I like that. We do brisket though too.
Oh yeah, I don't do that.
Remember, we do brisket, turkey, and ham.
Yeah,
just all of it.
I do smoke my ham in the smoker though.
That'd be good. We haven't done that. We usually do it in the crock pot.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's good. It's still juicy.
Yeah.
It eats well.
It's all good. It doesn't matter how you cook it.
I'm always really bad at this though. I always try a new recipe. I want to try something new. And then I always fail. And I'm I need to pre-try it and then make it again.
That's tough. I don't know. I'm trying new stuff.
Well,
sometimes it works and sometimes ugh.
I like cornbread, and I was there's cornbread recipe somebody sent me, but I put it in the crock pot because I was then it can just cook. Well, crock pots are more moist, and it just never
Was it a crock pot recipe?
It was, and she said she's made it in the crock pot before, but I'm I probably shouldn't have. Well, I have
it's cornbread pudding when you're done, right?
Yeah, and it's very liquidy. But I have I shouldn't say crock pot. It's a crock pan. It's the pan, the 9x13, but it looks like a crock pot. It has an insert and then the latch, and then you can turn. It's great. I love that thing.
Anybody else have any idea what she's talking about?
That's kind of nobody's gonna correct me, okay? But it's cool. So, nope, I messed up a recipe last year, and it was just let's just keep waiting for it to cook. Yeah, no, I didn't. Just throw it out. I'm no, and then it makes me mad. I'm nobody eat it, and I was oh, let's just try it. No, don't eat it because it's not perfect enough. Don't want to share it.
Yeah.
Da-da-da.
My theory is that when the food is done, get your butt to the kitchen and get to the dining room and eat it, because if we're eating cold food after I just spent 4 or 5 hours cooking it, I'm gonna be pissed.
I'm that way too, where I'm trying to schedule everything to be done at the same time, and then finally everything's hot for 5 minutes, so it's hurry up and grab it. Hurry up and get it right now. No.
I'm just going to get one of those heat lamps so you can put the plates underneath of them.
Yeah. I want one of those. They have this rotating tray thing. You could slide it around so people don't have to pass it. Because usually I have a hot bowl. It's here, hold this burning hot bowl for me. Pass it around.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else is new here? We got Thanksgiving. I don't know.
Thanksgiving's going on. Weather's changing, but
Christmas.
still okay.
I mean, yesterday's like this random rain that we had. That was weird.
Yeah.
I didn't like that. So I'm like in my office all day on Mondays. So it's weird because, like, who cares when people see this? Whatever. Okay. You'll see this on different days. This is probably it didn't rain yesterday when you watch this. But on Mondays, I'm in my massage office all the time. And it's in the middle of the building. You can't really hear anything.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, a client was trying to find our location. I was like, oh, I'll go meet you out front. I open the door. I'm like, oh my gosh, it is dark and it is raining and it is like 4 o'clock. Like, I don't like this.
No.
So I'm fine with snow. I'm fine with snow like Christmas time. And when it's like dry snow, this wet, slushy, and like the rain, I don't.
Do you know what I didn't have to do after it rained?
What?
Shovel.
That's true, but I don't like getting wet. Okay, if it can rain in the middle of the night when nobody's awake.
I do prefer that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't like.
I had a final walkthrough in that rain, and it was interesting.
Yeah.
Very wet.
At least you can see if there's leaks.
Yeah, there was no roof leaks.
That's
no basement leaks.
Yeah. Ugh, gosh. Yeah. Well, okay, so closing. Yeah, let's say that's a good little transition.
Yeah, final walkthrough is something we always try to do right before a closing.
So what's the reason for it?
The
like
reason
they've already looked
for
at it, they
a
already
final
did
walkthrough is because sometimes between the time you wrote the offer and the time you actually sign the papers, there could be 4 to 6 weeks in there most of the time. Yep. And you want to make sure that first of all, that the house is in the same condition it was when you bought it. They didn't knock holes in the walls. But also to make sure that it's somewhat clean. Most people don't hire a professional cleaner when they sell a house. If you do, we love you.
You're a real estate agent, because I did that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, but just to make sure the house is still standing, still in the same condition. Like last night, it was 50 degrees in there, so I turned the furnace on to make sure it worked, and I left it on all night. So,
yeah, I think it's great too because you have a bill of sale, and it says what's left with the house that isn't necessarily attached. Most people aren't gonna rip down the kitchen cabinets, but they might take the fridge. All of a sudden, when they said they were going to keep
fridge, bidets, toilet seats, you just never do know.
Yeah. So
sorry, it was a week.
Yeah. Well, it is nice to have that, and also, okay, if they are taking the fridge, did they shut off like the water for the fridge?
Right.
Like, making sure those little things, and it's great to make sure they left what they said they're going to leave, because if not, when you go to the closing table, they might have to pay back money, or they might have to return some things, or might not close.
And what happens at closing? We always talk about closing. Blah, 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 closing.
We don't just show up and it's a big party. And
closing is like our end goal. It's like the finish line. It's like the scariest yet most exciting part of the transaction.
Like when people post under contracts, I'm like, you're brave, because you do not know until it's signed and everybody has their money. And even then you're like, can I walk to my car?
Right.
Is this going to be okay? Like, are you sure it's closed?
Yeah.
Sometimes.
But closing table is where, as a buyer, you go, you sign your loan papers, or you bring your cash for your down payment, or your whole purchase in cash, whatever it looks like. Not cash. Cashier's check.
Yes. Don't
bring wire transfer, but watch out for the scammers like we talked about last week.
Yes.
So cashier's check is preferred, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And if you're financing a house, most of the time the lender brings everything you need. Yeah. But just make sure that they're bringing everything you need, because if you have to bring a $10,000 down payment, but you don't bank with that lender, then you might have to bring that separate.
Yeah, definitely.
But when you get to closing, you're going to have a boatload of papers to sign. They're all legal format papers. There's no real surprises in there. The government regulates that.
Yeah. Everybody has the same one.
Yeah.
It's not like a special one, like you get one from me.
It specifies your interest rate, your payments, your loan term. More or less, you just need to, you can read them all day if you want, but you really need to sign them unless you don't want the house anymore. Then that's your only other option.
Yeah.
But the papers, as long as you're planning on making your payments, you're never going to have to look at them again.
Yeah. Nothing's really negotiable once you get to closing.
Right.
Like, nothing at all. No. Like, the bill of sale stuff, if there's an issue there, that's about it. But once you get to closing, the documents that you get, you pretty much have to sign, like you said, or not get the house. Because, they're pretty standard across the board. Nobody can negotiate and change terms
Yeah.
at that point.
Most of the loan documents state that you have to keep your house in good standing, keep insurance on it. You have to make your payments. And if you choose not to make your payments,
Yeah.
that is fine, but call us and let us sell it.
Yes.
Make some money off of it, possibly, instead of just not making payments, having a foreclosure on your credit history, and then it takes years and years and years before you can ever buy another house.
Yeah. Decades. Like,
Decades.
So he doesn't
Forever.
have 10 years. Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
crazy.
Just don't do it.
Yeah. And closing, you are signing a lot of paperwork, and it does seem like a lot. You can stop and ask questions.
Absolutely.
Like there's people who read the whole thing. That's just fine too. It happens. But if you just kind of want to gist, those closers, whether it be us closing in office, whether it be here on title, anybody, they can explain every document to you in the simplest forms, so you actually understand what you're signing without having to
read a
and then it's like
document.
I was like, it's a legal description, so I mean it sounds all crazy fancy and you're like, what the heck was that I just read? We can explain it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then once you're done signing your papers, most commonly the seller's agent is going to be outside in the lobby waiting for you, and they're going to hand the buyer the keys
or have some sort of figured out plan,
have a code or whatever it
is.
is, and then you're going to get keys, and then from that moment on, you as the buyer are the owner of that house.
Yes.
You can move in, you can rip out a wall, you can paint.
Unless anything was figured out later for like somebody stays longer or something and they rent it. What?
That's
there's special circumstances, but normally the seller cannot come back to that house, and you own that house, and that is your house to take care of from that day on.
Yeah. Everybody always is wondering about keys. Sometimes it's great if we get one key. Some people don't even lock their houses, so they have no keys.
Yeah.
My recommendation would be to take the keys, throw them out the window after you get in the door.
Yeah.
And put new locks on the house, because you don't know if those keys were from 5 owners ago, or if there's every relative in the world has got one. I mean, you just don't know. If your great uncle still has a key and he doesn't know the family's moved, maybe he just walks into Thanksgiving dinner. I mean, who knows? Just put new locks on the house.
Yeah. I like the coded ones. Those are always nice, especially like you get some of these sellers that are great, and they have this whole booklet. Here's everything about my house, and they leave it, and then they leave the paint and with the room that it's in, and they leave all this stuff, and they have all these keys, and they have them tagged and labeled. That's your best case scenario.
Right.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. Even then, I'd still change the key locks, but at least you have it for the moving day until you get something you want. But that's best case scenario. Worst case scenario, it's here's the code. Nobody knows how to change the code, and the battery's dead and there's no key.
Yeah. It happens.
Yeah, it happens. I mean, there's other ways.
But as a seller, you going to closing, you want the buyers to buy before you. You go in right afterwards. But when you show up to closing, make sure you're done at the house. Don't leave any vehicles. Yes. Don't leave any personal belongings. Make sure the house is swept and vacuumed and wiped off at least. Make sure it's at least presentable. Then go to closing with your keys and your garage door openers at closing and hand them off to the buyer.
Be ready to not go back to that house when you come to closing. And I've had somebody, the day before be like, yep, the moving truck's coming tomorrow. And I'm like, no, because you can't go back tomorrow after 8 a.m. Like the moving truck's coming at 5 a.m. and you're moving out and day out? Like what? Yeah. And it's kind of a craziness. So you can't go back to that house. People think like, oh yeah, we close. Like, when do they take the property? Right then.
Yeah,
right
they just paid for it right now.
They just paid for it. You just signed it over.
Yeah.
Right then. So thankfully in that situation, they were already ready. They just had some stuff in the garage. No problem. But yeah, just make sure you don't have to ever go back.
Yeah. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like I said, as a seller, make sure you have your poop in a group, get the house ready to go the night before. Get your keys organized. Get your garage door openers organized. If you have books for appliances, just leave them on the counter. That's fine.
Yeah.
Or in a cabinet, wherever.
Yeah.
And then go to closing prepared to not go back, like Brittany said.
Yeah. If it's nice too for those sellers who do have those booklets. They've got all the booklets for their appliances and maybe where they bought it and what year or something. Like just right on the outside, and they've got, it's nice for people to have all this stuff, because then when you close, you can feel a little bit more done. You can be a little bit more done.
Right.
Because if not, sometimes that buyer's messaging us like, hey, do you remember when the filter got replaced? And it's like, okay, let me check. You know, it's like, just change the filter, yeah. But it's one of those things where it's kind of nice. Like, we had an extra fridge filter, water filter. Well, we knew our next house probably wouldn't have that water filter. We left that. Same thing, furnace filters. We had extras, left that. Left the paint. Like, those kind of things, there you go. Right. You don't need the third of a gallon of paint.
The other thing you have to think of as a buyer is that when you're closing, make sure the utilities are put in your name from that day forward.
Yeah. Okay. They can backdate. That's the nice part. So say you forget and all of a sudden, you know, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm going to move into this house today and it's a Friday afternoon and we forgot to change it. Usually they give you a little bit of a grace period and not long, a couple days. Sometimes. Depends on the company.
If they shut your power off,
yeah,
then you have to pay a reconnection fee.
Yes.
Same with your water.
Yes. So I would recommend doing it right away. But if you forget, normally it's not like the person's like, did you sign? Okay, turn it off.
Right.
Yeah. It's not that quick, but you sometimes have a day or two.
But sometimes the seller calls, and I don't really recommend this, especially in the winter. Sometimes the seller calls and says, well, we're closing on Friday at noon. I need the power shut off by then. Yep. Well, the buyer didn't actually go in until noon. They were going to go right afterwards and have the power put in their name.
Yeah.
Well, then the power shut off, or the closing. Sometimes the closing gets delayed. Something happened. Closing gets delayed till Monday. Middle of winter, that house has no power through the weekend.
That is why we do a walkthrough.
Yeah, that is not a good situation.
Something freezes, and then all of a sudden, you sign for that house and you go over and it's flooded. Like,
yeah.
Yes, there's things that you can do. It's not all on you, but it's been it's a whole other headache because it's going back.
We as realtors will always tell you to get these things done ahead of time. So it's not like you have to remember all this. We are here every step of the way to tell you what to do. Just make sure you're listening and doing what we tell you to do.
Yeah, I always kind of wait till like the 2 weeks before. You know, like because at first you're doing a lot of negotiations, you're doing a lot of paper, you're doing just so many things. I'm not going to be like, oh hey, I'm calling your utility.
I do it like 2 days before just to make sure we're still.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, like make sure, but it's always good to. If you have the buyer, I like to make sure they're prepared for that.
Yeah.
Well before, just because. So.
But yeah, there's a lot that goes into closing, but that's always the end goal. That's the fun part. So.
Yeah, we like closings.
I've had some sellers that don't want to talk to each other after closing, and I've had some sellers that cry in each other, or buyers and sellers that cry in each other's arms after closing because they're so happy. So
it's very different. And normally, the way a lot of them are filtered out, you usually don't cross too many paths into each other. So if you kind of have a hard
sometimes the negotiation on the home, and that's another perfect reason why you need a real estate agent.
Yeah.
Sometimes through the negotiations, feelings get hurt. People feel like somebody's trying to take advantage of this or this. And at the end of the day, we're just trying to find a common ground. So that's where it's very important to have a real estate agent. And that's where those feelings come from at closing, whether it's good or bad or what it is.
Yeah, and you don't want to go to closing being like stressed out about running into them and having them be like, glad I gave you an extra $5,000 off. Like nobody's doing that. We're not doing that. Yeah, we're all being so it's great. Yeah, sometimes. Yeah. No.
All right. Well, we hope you all have a wonderful Thanksgiving with your families and a wonderful Black Friday. Hopefully you stay safe in that chaos.
I know we're probably having sales, right? We're doing Shop Small Saturday.
Yes.
At your place, my place. Look at
that.
All over
Shop
town.
Small Saturday. Probably do something for Black Friday. That's a few days away. So why rush?
Get to shop.
Yeah. But enjoy your holiday weekend, and we will see you next week.
Yeah. Bye.
Thank you.
And remember, who you look with matters.